Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is ReadingBear and I hope you are ready for some more stories. And today, we'll take a look at some new entitled people content. If you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comment. And now, let's dive right into the stories.
The first story is titled Sister Demands I Give Her One of My Twin Babies' Mother Back Her Up. So, I 27F am an identical twin. Now there is this idea that twin especially identical have an automatic connection. Well, this is not true with us. Mostly because we grew up in different homes. At 13 our parents split, and I choose to live with my dad. Well, she chooses our mother. And in that choose she took on my mother's, I'm better than everyone in the world should bow down to me attitude. This attitude is a huge reason I chose to live with my dad. My mother cared a lot about appearance and what people thought. And because I wasn't a perfect little girl, she was rather emotional abusive. Well, my sister was her perfectly little girly girl and pretty much her personality mini-me. I wasn't. First, I went through a punk, tomboy phase through middle school into high school, which I still somewhat incorporate into my style and personality today. My sister was also pretty popular though out school. She had a lot friends. Well, I had 3 friends and was I guess what could be considered a nerd. After our parents split, I would spend every first weekend with my mother and my sister spent every second weekend with me and my dad. I stopped going to my mother's house when I was 15. I had come out as bi and had started dating a girl from school. My mother accuses me of just looking for attention. My mother wasn't homophobic in the sense she thought it was wrong, more in the sense she cares way too much about appearance and didn't want her kid to be gay, bi, as she felt it looked bad on her. This was back in 2010, so being part of the LGBT community wasn't near as accepted as it is now, and there was still a pretty big stigma behind it. My relationship with her became strained after that. My sister was also not happy as she didn't want to be the bi chick sisters as she but it. Well, flash forward 7 years to when my sister and I was 22. My sister and her boyfriend were trying to have a baby. But they couldn't seem to get pregnant. After a year of trying, they found out she is not physically able to have kids. Well, I felt bad for her. I didn't think much of it as I thought there nothing I could do to help. Turns out my sister and mother thought differently. We were all at my aunt's house for her birthday when my sister and mother pulled me aside. Mother: so, you know about your sister doctor visited? Me: yeah, I'm so sorry. I know how much you wanted it. Mother: well, we actually figured a way she can have a baby. Me: she is going adopted. Sister: no, we can't do that. It cost too much. Me: oh, then what your plan? Mother: I remembered something I saw online a while back, so I looked it up, and since you two are twins, if you have the baby she will be just as biological related to it as if she had one herself. Me: wait, you want me to get pregnant and carry the baby? Mother: yes, it's a perfect situation. Me: that is not happening. Mother: she is your sister, and you can help her. Stop being selfish. Me: I'm not being selfish. Getting pregnant is a big deal and it will take literally 9 months of my life. I have a job. I had also just started a new relationship with a guy, and getting pregnant would likely have made things awkward. And last but not least, I just didn't want to be pregnant. They started going in on me on how I need to help my sister and trying to guilt me into. I wasn't taking it and made it clear it wasn't going to happen. I thought that was the end. But then a year later, despite all attempt to prevent it, I got pregnant. My boyfriend at the time, who I had only been dating a year, and I weren't sure what to do. We talked about it and all the option, but decided to go through with the pregnancy. I kept my pregnancy quite for as long as I could, but once I started showing, I announced it online. Which resulted in a call from sister. Sister: so, you're pregnant? Me: yeah. Sister: what happened to not want kids? Me: accident happened, I guess. Sister: so, since you never wanted this kid, you could let us adopt it. Me: what? Sister: well, you always said you never wanted kids. And this one was an accident, so you should let us adopt it. Me: no. Not happening. This is mine and boyfriend's baby, we're going to be raising it. Sister: but you said you didn't want kids. Me: I changed my mind, it happens. Sister: that's not fair. I hung up after that. I wasn't in any mood to fight. She then tried to get my mom to guilt me into giving her the baby. And despite my reminder that even if I didn't want the baby, I couldn't just give them it as boyfriend was the father and he had rights to the kid. They didn't seem to understand. Now if you thought it ended there, nope. Well, when we went in for a checkup, I found out I was having twins. Which in a way wasn't a surprise, being a twin gave me a higher chance at having them. I took a while to come to term with having one baby, so finding out I was having two was a huge shock. I was still pretty freaked about having twins but decided to announce it. Which resulted in another call from my sister. Sister, you're having twins. Me. Yeah, apparently ironic, right? Sister. So, I can have one. Me. What? Sister. Since you're having twins I can have one. Me. No, you can't. Sister. Why not you have two? Me. Yeah, I'm having two, they are my babies and me and boyfriend will be raising both. Sister. But's that not fair? I hung up as again I wasn't going fight her. But then my mother calls me up and this is the conversation. Mother. Your sister just called me crying. Me. Okay. Mother. Can't you just give her one of them? You know how much she wants a baby. Me. That is not my problem. These are my kids. She can always adopt, there are penalty of kid looking for homes. Mother. Why do you always have to be so difficult and selfish? You never even wanted these kids in the first place. Would it hurt you to give one to your sister? Me. This is ridiculous. She is not getting either of my babies. After some more attempt at guilt tripping, they finally stopped demanding I give them a baby. But that didn't stop them from overstepping with the kids on multiple occasions. The next story is entitled Relatives 1/2 of Scratch It Ticket Winnings. At my mom's family Xmas Eve dinner, we all exchange gifts. My aunt and uncle give out lottery scratch it cards to the adults and toys for all the kids. They have 5 young kids and aren't wealthy, so I don't mind the $3 gift. Rest of the adults don't spend over $20 and will gift books, movies, mittens, etc. to one another. Each family or household will also buy toys for all the kids, including said aunt and uncles. But every damn year, entitled uncle makes the same joke, if you win, we get half. If I did win the top prize, yeah, I would probably buy some nice thank you present they or their family could share. But aunt and uncle act like the couple bucks they spend entitles them to half of any winning ticket over $10. The next story is titled Am I the A-hole for getting my neighbor's car towed because he parked in front of my house? So basically, I live in an upscale neighborhood in Toronto where my neighbors keep parking in front of my house. That is my parking spot and I have nowhere else to park. Sometimes they'll have guests over and they'll park on the entire street leaving me nowhere to park. I told them that I need to park, and this has got to stop, and they apologized and said it won't happen again. I said thank you and apologized for the trouble. One day, after work, I came home and what did I see? A party happening, and I saw my neighbor's car parked in front of my house. I didn't get mad, didn't react, just picked up my phone and got the car towed. I then moved my car in front of my own house. My neighbor was visibly pissed when he went outside to see his car get towed. He called me an a-hole and said that I should have been a bit more lenient, to which I responded, I don't pay property taxes so you can park in front of my house whenever you feel like it. If I wanted to give out parking permits, I'd be a landlord. Now, don't park in front of my house again. He continued to make a scene, to which I reiterated again, I do not pay property taxes so you can park in my parking space. He went inside and I haven't spoken to him since. So, am I the a-hole in this situation? Comment said not the a-hole. You told him not to do it and he said he wouldn't. It may have been more polite to ask him to move it first, but that could have just led to a confrontation. I think your solution was reasonable. Another comment said no, of course you aren't the a-hole here. You neighbor was intentionally inconveniencing you and would not stop. They very much deserved to have their car towed after deliberately parking in front of your house. The next story is titled I'll only pay if the weather's good. I don't really have many choosing beggars stories, but the one that most closely fits the bill is the time my uni housemates and I decided to go to a theme park. We wanted to get tickets in advance, so I offered to get them all at once and then everyone would give me the money for their ticket. This was agreed to, so I went ahead and booked. 3 housemates paid me back without issue. The 4th one messaged me a couple of days later saying she didn't think the weather was going to be all that great on the day, So could she wait until the day of the trip to decide if it was worth the money? I wasn't sure what she was getting at, so I asked her if she meant she wasn't going to come if the weather was bad, and told her I didn't want to be out of pocket, so she'd either need to pay for the ticket or get someone else to go in her place. Tickets were non-refundable. She replied to say I'd gotten confused and that she was still going to go, even if the weather was bad, but if it was raining she wouldn't have that great of a time, so she felt it wouldn't be worth the ticket price and so wouldn't be paying me back. I was dumbfounded, and when I suggested she was wrong to make me pay for her ticket if she felt the weather wasn't great, she reacted really defensively and basically fell out with me because she didn't think I was being fair. She said the weather would probably be fine, so I probably didn't have anything to worry about, and seemed to think I would be fine with that. The next story is titled My Mother is an A-hole and I have been collecting dirt on her for years. So, my dear old mother has been my personal hell for as long as I remember. Starting from threatening to hit me with a bottle to trying to break down my door while screaming obscenities at me, to actually hitting me over the head with an umbrella and yelling at me when I cried. I was 11 by the way. She blamed me for my sister's divorce. I was 6 at the time it happened. For years. Left for 3 months without a warning, then acted entitled to my forgiveness when she came back. Thrown things at me, broke 3 TVs and called me a myriad of names ranging from mild things like useless waste of space to an actual curse, punishment. The worst thing is she acts like she's the best mom in existence around other people. Complimenting me and stuff, and I can't have a support system because no one would believe me when I say she's awful. But I had an ace up my sleeve I kept for 2 years now. I secretly took videos and audios of every horrible moment and kept them in a safe folder. I had moments like the ones mentioned above and lots more of her talking crap about neighbors, friends, her own eldest child behind their back. Tonight, I'm packing for uni. By morning, the whole folder will reach multiple people, including my half-siblings, aunts, uncles, neighbors, her besties, etc. Bad luck, and worst day mother. You always said justice is better served cold. The next story is titled Male Karen thinks it's wrong of us not to charge his things to someone else's card. I have never made a post like this before, so here goes. This happened not minutes ago. Person staying as a guest, if the person whose name is on the room, tried to charge stuff to card on file for room. I asked him for an ID to match his name up with the name on the room. He then said that the room wasn't under their name, it was under their boss's, the person of whom the room is under, and that the incidental card on file was his boss's. I then informed him that I would need the person whose name was on the room and owner of the card on file's permission before I could charge market items to the room. He then got a bit belligerent and refused to get permission, stating that it was his boss's room so it should be effing fine. I once again said I cannot charge items to a room and card that you aren't the owner of. Not okay with that, he said, that's effed up because a different, insert hotel brand I work at here, let him do it before. I told him that the people that owned that hotel didn't own ours. So rules were different, and again informed him that charging something to someone else's card without their permission is not only against our hotel's policy, but is very much against the law as it's fraud and I cannot let him charge it. He then claimed that he could take it and I would be forced to charge the card anyway if I didn't want to lose money, and I told him that would be theft and I could not let him do that. He then put the items back and became very belligerent, including saying, if this wasn't here, referring to the desk and cameras, I would be handling this in a very different way. That, at least to me, implies a threat of violence. He then ran off towards his room shouting he was going to call my manager in the morning, and I informed him to please do. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't realize not only do our front desk cameras work, but they have audio. Unfortunately, his name isn't on the room, so I do not know what his name is, otherwise I would ask him to leave. I have texted my manager to see what they would like me to do, but I don't expect an answer as it's 2 in the morning and they are here in 5 hours. The next story is titled The Presidential Suite? Really? Change some details, locations because I don't want this coming back to me. Sparkly DM approaches the desk. DM. Name is Bob. Me. Hello sir, welcome. I have your booking right here, let me print the paperwork. DM. Glaring and demanding, I'd like to request an upgrade. Me. Alright, let me see. You've already been upgraded from a standard twin, to a king superior with a sofa bed. DM. I want a suite. Me. Nervous laughter, check system sir, we don't have a suite available. They are occupied. DM. Yes you do, you have the presidential suite. Me. Him. Pulls out his phone to show me, I see you still have it on your website. His quiet Karen girlfriend also pulls out her phone to show it to me twice for some reason. Now let me stop here to explain some good old context. The presidential suite is £800 a night. It's 3 rooms with their own balconies. The wallpaper in those rooms is £1,000 a roll. The presidential suite is ducking gorgeous. I look at this dude's rate and he booked a standard twin for £103 for the night. Absolutely not happening. Me. Sir, we don't have the presidential suite available. Him. As a diamond member I get free upgrades. He shoves the available suite at me and at this point I'm starting to shake because he's being super forceful, like a guy who would flip out if a woman turned him down at a bar. Or a child being refused a toy. Me. Trying to defuse the situation, I look more into the system. We have a King Superior Sea View tonight I'd be happy to give you, but the DM complimentary upgrade only allows for a room type in a category that's 1 grade up from the one you book, and we have done that, but I can give you this, the King Superior. Him. I want to speak to your manager. Me. Alright, gladly I go get my manager, who's oddly enough talking to the general manager. I explain the situation. He comes out and repeats everything I said. Lo and behold, he begins repeating everything I have said. He explains that we can't give it to him because the suite is 4 rooms. But he'd also be happy to give him a king sea view. DM. No, I don't want that room is rubbish. I stayed in that exact room last time I was here and it was dreadful. I want the presidential suite. Also no, he didn't and had no idea what number of said room it was going to be. Manager. Once again, sir, I am not going to give you the presidential suite, but I have this lovely king sea view room available for you. The DM whines and says, I've driven 100 miles to come here. No, company CEO, personally. I know the redacted brand name. In asterisk 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 asterisk, let me have their presidential all the time. And my front office manager stands his ground. The guy sighs. DM. Fine, cancel my booking. Then he says, bluffing manager like a robot. That's a shame because I have a lovely King Superior Sea View for you to enjoy. DM. No, I want the suite. Cancel my booking. I'm going to another hotel. Manager. Alright. He does, and that's that. So like nothing happened, my manager goes to finish paperwork. I continue my nightly routine watching the guy and his Karen girlfriend in the lobby fiddle on their phones. The DM approaches. He asks to see my manager one more time. Manager sighs and comes out. The DM sheepishly asks him to book him a taxi. The next story is titled Karen Making Herself Look Stupid. Guest walks in and immediately I know she's going to be problematic. Points to the spa is out of order sign, and immediately starts complaining and demanding a discount. We haven't even started the check-in yet. Check-in begins, I confirm the room type and that she's staying for 2 nights. She flips out. 2 nights? Why the hell did you book me for 2 nights? I asked for 1 night. Okay ma'am, that's not a problem. I'll go ahead and change your reservation for just 1 night. She huffs, can you not follow simple instructions? I didn't take your reservation, Karen, but I have changed it here for you. After check-in is finished, I hand her the keys. Her husband walks in and asks, our reservation is for 2 nights, right? Well, it was, but your wife asked me to change it. We need a room for 2 nights as we are having problems with plumbing at our house and I don't want to risk our house not being ready. His wife tells me to hold their room for them for tomorrow. I'm sorry ma'am, we don't hold rooms without payment. Karen responds sarcastically, you're telling me you don't do reservations at this hotel? No, I'm telling you that we do not hold rooms without payment. You will need to pay for tomorrow's room plus incidentals. She gets angry and tells me I don't know what I'm doing. 1 hour later, her husband comes in to apologize and pay for the next night's stay. Gotta love working in hospitality. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.